Bienvenidos! Welcome, Blacks and Tears, to another episode of Blacks into Panama. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Big Will. Today we're going to discuss something near and dear to my heart. One of the best things about living in Panama is that feeling of tranquility, the calm, tranquilo. A huge part of that for us is due to being in a majority Black and brown nation that is absent the rampant, weaponized racism that is common to the United States. Part of the solution, in my opinion, is due to the Panamanian government and their involvement. Panama does a great job at helping people of color here reconnect with their African heritage. Unlike what's going on in the States where they're actually banning books on the same issue right now. Panama does such a great job at this. We just finished celebrating an entire month called Etnia Negra. What's Etienne Negra? Let's talk about it, fam. Corazón. All right, fam, so let's talk about it. Mes de la Etnia Negra, the month of the Black ethnic. This is an officially recognized celebration of the Black ethnic and its contributions here in Panama, which makes perfect sense because Panama is 96% Black and brown. Now, I know a lot of you are probably asking, wait a minute, 96% Black and brown, how did that come to be? Let's talk about it. Many scholars believe that Africans were present on this continent as early as the 1300s, after both the Mali and the Mandingo empires launched these great sea expeditions. I would highly suggest reading They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan van Sertima for deeper details on how this happened. He covers a lot of ground, including the Olmec civilization. The Olmecs are some really fascinating civilization and culture to take a look at. The Olmecs were the first major Mesoamerican civilization. This civilization started around 400 BC and lasted up until about the 1300 AD. And as you can see, they covered a lot of territory from modern day Mexico to Guatemala, all the way to Nicaragua. The most striking thing about this civilization for our purposes are the hints that they left behind about who they were. Their colossal heads, these massive stone structures that reveal African features. Look at this, wide noses, big lips. You know, people reflect themselves in art. So these Olmecs, Black, African. So the African presence in Panama has actually been here a very long time. Then more Africans came here through the transatlantic slave trade. Some 15 million souls were kidnapped from Africa and enslaved. Of the 15 million that made the infamous Middle Passage, 10 million of them came to the Caribbean, Central, and South America. By comparison, the United States only received 500,000 enslaved. So way more Africans came here than went there. There was another huge Black migration in Panama in 1850 when the railroad across the isthmus was being built by the U.S. The U.S. had intentions here in Panama for a very long time. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but just know that they've been here messing around for a very long time. The folks that came here to build the railroad came from the surrounding Caribbean islands, the Afro-Antilleans, the descendants of those who survived the Middle Passage. Then another separate wave of Blacks came in 1904 to help build the canal. Now, since both the railroad and canal construction were mainly a U.S. project, the U.S. imposed the same Jim Crow rules experienced in the United States on these folks here in Panama. So that the folks here suffered discrimination and mistreatment in spite of the fact that they were carrying out the most dangerous work and was really driving the the economy here today, the canal. So in 2000, the Panamanian government decided to officially recognize these contributions by approving what they call Law 9, which declares that there was a day in May that would be the Day of the Black Ethnic. And it was really had the purpose of highlighting the scientific, cultural, economic, and labor contributions of Black and African Panamanians. But they quickly discovered that one day is not enough, and several years later moved to encompass the entire month of May. So, you know, a month with 31 days, not the shortest month of the year. Now, traditionally, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on with Etienne Negra, celebrated all up and down the coastline and in the city and in the interior on the Caribbean side. And you see parades, you know, historical events, dances. The thing that excites me the most is the school kids will dress up in their traditional African garb and, you know, go to school and eat traditional food, just like American kids do at Thanksgiving, dressing up as pilgrims, y'all. So I love it. I love it. This year, Panama's coming out of COVID, so some of the events were a little tamped down. However, they still got it in, y'all. So, you know, the Panamanian government actually co-sponsored and hosted something called the Journey of Atonement and Reconciliation of Mother Africa in reunion with this diaspora. This was a summit held in Panama City, and you know, thousands of folks came from Africa. I mean, we were in the presence of African kings and queens, and they came and joined in the Etnia Negra celebrations. We even caught a glimpse of Zulika Mandela, the granddaughter of Nelson and Winnie. Look at y'all, she's dropping it like it's out on the dance floor. I love it. Well, that's a wrap for this episode, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, it's a damn good feeling living in a place that truly recognizes your culture. Not like the United States, which, you know, colonizes and monetizes our culture, like, you know, McDonald's ads for MLK Day and, you know, here's a humdinger. The Walmart Juneteenth ice cream, just pandering. No, you don't see any of that misappropriation of culture here, and it feels so good. So thanks so much for joining us. If this is your first time joining us, thank you. Please take the time to like and subscribe so that you can continue to get fed some good information like this. I hope you enjoyed it. And to all my repeat offenders out there, please consider joining the show as a member. You can just click the join below. Y'all, it's a one-man show. I work really hard to keep getting this content out and keep feeding you with good information, but it gets expensive. And your support will really be greatly appreciated. So, y'all, thanks so much. Take care, and until next time, ciao.
Ella quiere más de lo que vamos a hacer en París, Andaré, Julia.